Before we get started, a one of our true fan supporters, Carrie Justice. Today's her birthday, so I just wanted to wish her a happy birthday from all of her football. One of many supporters of the football program. Her and Dr. Bill obviously have really done a good job supporting us. So happy birthday to her. Phenomenal job by the players executing the plan today, making plays. Phenomenal job by the entire organization for grinding through, a short week. Phenomenal job. Appreciate every single fan that showed up on a Thursday night on national television. Complete Marshall victory. Really happy, really appreciative, really proud of the players' effort, really proud of their ability to respond. Great job by everyone involved. Really, really appreciative of every single student that was here today, every single fan that showed up, alumni, everyone involved. Really good job.
Come out and get the opening drive touchdown, and then the 2 point conversion. Was that just to send a message, or did you feel like you needed that at that point?
No, we're trying to build. Each week we're trying to continue to add a little bit to who we are. You want to keep some. Not really. You want to be able to add to who you are every week. So whether it's plays on the offense, defense, or special teams, just felt like that was something we've been working on. We're adding. We have a kind of a library of options in that scenario. This was kind of the moment that we had planned as we've been working them since camp. So just trying to build each week because it's going to take more and more. Everyone's going to have to take the strain off of the next unit. Everyone's going to have to continue to be creative with ways to execute. Teams look at. We've got, 7 games on film now, So teams are going to look at it and start to be able to break you down a little bit. So we got to continue to add on both sides of the ball. We did some things defensively today that we hadn't done before, offensively that we hadn't done. So just part of what it takes to continue to be successful.
Coach, how proud are you of that defense? One stat that sticks in mind is the fourth quarter where they just seemed to get those chunk yards. And I think you held them to a field goal, and that seemed to maybe lift everybody up to say, look, we can stop this team.
Yeah, I'm so proud of every single player in that locker room because everything around them said, you guys are dead. It's over. How could you? And they just bought into what they built and believed in the process that we built this summer. We said adversity was going to show up. Obviously, when adversity shows up, it's not something that you want to happen or something that you necessarily create. But what it does is you get an opportunity to respond. The character of a man or the character of a team is not shown in times of comfort and pleasure. It's shown in times of challenge and adversity. And we talked about that this week. And the challenge was there, the adversity was there, and every single one of them. Like I told you guys Tuesday, they told me, Coach, we got you. And they showed up today. We told the coaches, let the players play. And we called timeout, I think it was before then, or we had a timeout. And I went over to remind them of all the tips and reminders of formation. They said, Coach, we got you. I walked back to the sideline. Players executed today. Really good job. Really good job by all of them. Really key moment right there, to stand up on fourth and I think it might have been 4 or 5 or 3 or whatever it was. Actually, it was third and whatever. We kind of thought they would go for it on fourth down. But again, the players responded. And that's what you're going to have to do in order to continue to be successful.
Obviously, AJ has a big night, but how much does Braylon's ability to run open AJ up on some of those opportunities that he cashes in on?
Yeah, I think it's a combination. Yeah, you're right. Braylon's ability to run and our willingness to continue to throw it, in some situations because it forces teams to loosen up. When you really get down in there, they start packing it down, and now they got a guy for the quarterback, they got a guy for the running back. They start moving the front a little bit. It makes it a little bit more tough to kind of get to the lanes. We said keep throwing it. Obviously we were trying to be strategic with it, but in those situations you got to kind of be aggressive. When you feel that you can defensively put yourself in a good spot. So we had to keep it loose. Based on formation, based on motion. I thought Braylon did a really good job of executing the plays. If it was there to hand off, to hand it off. Obviously, if AJ's splitting runs like that, the O-line's doing a phenomenal job. The tight ends are doing a job blocking. The receivers downfield, really good job executing, the plays. Some of it was some stuff we're adding to just formationally. But it came down to guys executed. They did a really good job. And obviously, AJ showed his speed there, at the end. I don't know. There's some situations in football where defensively they may try and let you score. I don't know if that was the case or not. But for us, it was opportunity to put points on the board.
Obviously, Reese is kind of on a roll right now. To see, have you seen his confidence grow each time he goes out there? Now, he obviously dealt with the lull there, but now he's hit 7 straight.
Yeah, I think what he's doing is he's reaping what he sowed this summer. I told you guys before, he's probably one of the hardest workers on the team. The kid kicks and kicks and kicks. I go to the weight room to walk on the treadmill at 5:30 in the morning. He's in there stretching. He's in there getting his lifts in. And the good Lord blesses you if you just stay committed to the process. And that's what he's been able to do. And, I told him back early in the season when he missed a few, I'm coming back to you. And he just works his way. Again, that goes back to, the snap, the kick, the hold, all of it goes together. I think we've put him in positions where we've shown confidence in him. And I think his work ethic has given him, the confidence to go out there and hit some big kicks. It's been some really big opportunities, for him. So really proud of him executing the kicks. Really proud of the unit blocking for him. Last year we had some issues with some coming out low. I think he's done a really good job with that. The snaps and the holds have been great. Going to need him down the stretch.
Defensive line doesn't register a sack tonight, but I thought the secondary picked them up well. When you look at that's kind of complementary football, and that's what you've talked about. Was that good to see out of the secondary?
Yeah, we talk about taking the strain off of each other. The teams aren't going to let us get home. They're smart with getting it out. They're not going to let us get home. I thought Georgia State had a really good plan to neutralize our front, which was to get the ball out quick. Then you got to make a decision. Do you tighten up the coverage and try and challenge them, or and then when you do that, you put yourself in an issue for a deep shot. We talked about one of the keys to the game was trying to keep number 16 from getting explosive plays. I thought we did a really good job of that. Part of that is because we weren't necessarily committing to the quick game. You have a decision to make. You can let them bleed you out, or you can move up and be aggressive, and all of a sudden now you got the deep balls that come. So I thought our DBs did a really good job. They executed when they needed to. There were some big moments there from a pass perspective where the DBs had to really step up. I thought the kids did a great job of executing when they needed to. Really good job.
Coach, coming out of that 2-minute
you new?
With WMEL, Ben Westfall.
Nobody else wears ties here. I like that. Okay, good.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Luke, you should try that. Go ahead.
But out of that 2-minute timeout, you get the third down stop. Was there a thought to use a timeout on that 4th down and 10, or to see what the offense was throwing out there for Georgia State?
No, because we kind of had an idea based on game plan and what they were going to do, and it really kind of left us in a lane of one or two things. And either way, we were going to be in a good spot. And just making sure that we wanted to use our timeouts wisely. So if we did get the ball back, that we could go down and win it. So we kind of, from game prep, film study, we kind of knew what worlds they were going to live in. So we felt good about it. Typically, when we use a timeout on defense, we used one earlier in the game. They came out in a formation we hadn't seen. So instead of trying to ask the kids to, cover something they hadn't seen, we called timeout, get in a good situation. But in that situation, we felt like we knew what options they could go to, and the kids felt good about it.
Sunbelt Commissioner Keith Gill in town. Did you have a chance to talk with him?
Yeah, I did before the game. I appreciate Commissioner Gill being here. Obviously, Marshall is a committed member of the Sunbelt, and obviously this conference is continuing to move forward. And for us to be put in a position by the conference to be on ESPN in prime time, we're extremely appreciative. I'm extremely appreciative of Commissioner Gill, being here. Obviously, he's got 1,000 things to do, but for him to be here, supporting the herd, obviously, Christian Spears working with the, commissioner and conference office, trying to make sure that Marshall stays a, visible, competitive, member of the Sun Belt. I really appreciate that. Again, commissioners don't just go everywhere. I think that's a really tip of the hat, from the Sun Belt to us that he was here today. So really appreciative. Appreciate him being here. Appreciate ESPN for putting us in the national spotlight. So really good.
All righty, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.